Hey guys, I want to talk a little bit about some strategy in regards to finding a 1 rep max. So usually advanced athletes, powerlifters, Olympic weightlifters, or competitive CrossFit athletes, they already know how their body's going to react and what the best way for them to reach a new 1 rep max is. But for a lot of our novice and intermediate athletes, they really seem to struggle building up to a 1 rep max and actually achieving it. They start making too aggressive jumps, they overreach themselves towards the end, they'll miss a lift, and they'll have to back down. It's actually a fairly easy process for novice and intermediate athletes to actually establish the loads to build up to a previous 1 rep max and then have a new one. We tell our athletes here in the gym to start out by taking their original 1 rep max. And for example, we use 365 in this right here. All right, what we want to do is subtract 5 to 10 pounds, or about 2.5%. So if it's a lift, one of those things where the lift is a weaker lift, like a military press, or if you're a female athlete and that 1 rep max is about 100 pounds, you're going to want to subtract 5 pounds. For stronger males who are doing, 400-pound back squats, you can subtract as much as 15 pounds. So the bigger the lift, the more you're going to subtract. And what's going to happen is that lift, in this case, 355, is going to be our first heavy single. And to build up to that, we're going to work backwards. We're going to reverse engineer our loading as we work up to just under that previous 1 rep max. So in this case right here, 355 was our first number. That's 10 pounds under 365, which is our previous 1 rep max. We don't want to waste or expend any unnecessary energy on this previous 1 rep max because we've already done it. Our goal is to get as warm as possible without accumulating too much fatigue and go for a new 1 rep max. So we start off at 355, we'll do a single there. On those bigger lifts, usually 20 to 30 pound jumps are appropriate. In this example, 20 pounds. I'll simply drop 20 pounds, I'll do a single at 135. Drop 20, a single at 315. Drop 20, a single at 295. Drop 20, and now this rep scheme is gonna be fairly light. All right, I'll do a double at 275, drop another 20 pounds, do a triple at 255, and I'll do a triple at 205. So you notice that the lighter the weight gets, the bigger the jumps. And the closer we move towards this previous 1 rep max, the smaller the jumps, okay? It's very reasonable for an athlete who can squat over 400 pounds to go from 135 to 185. That's not a big deal. But for a female who's got a 205-pound back squat, they can't jump from 135 to 185. So it's gonna be relative to your individual strength. If you look at this reverse engineer loading, I'm gonna be working backwards, but the way I'm gonna build up to this is starting at this last number I've engineered. All right, and I've gone all the way down into my general warm-up, which is a 10-8-6-4. So it's very simple. When you come into a session and you see that 1 rep max, just take 5 or 10 pounds off that previous 1 rep max and then start working backwards. Smaller jumps, getting to larger jumps, and you can see down here, the jumps are a little bit bigger, anywhere from 30 to 40 pounds, okay? Now what's gonna happen once you get to that 5 to 10 pounds under your previous 1 rep max is depending on how that lift felt. It's gonna depend on how much above and beyond you go over your previous 1 rep max. In general, we tell a lot of our newer athletes, no matter what, go plus 5 pounds and take the victory, all right? You spend all that time training, you don't wanna make a jump that's too aggressive, go up 30 pounds, fail. Not only does that waste mental energy, but also physical energy. So what we want to do is set the athlete up for success. Give them that immediate victory by going plus 5 pounds, in this case, 370. Get that knocked out, even if they're capable of more. And then from there, we can continue to increase, all right? Generally speaking, it's gonna be smaller jumps, all right? Every 5 pounds is a victory, all right? Especially with the more experienced athletes, a 5 pound jump is gonna be a phenomenal jump, right? For new athletes, you're gonna see them making big jumps, 20, 30, 40 pounds over previous 1 rep maxes because their training age is so low. So the next time you step into the gym and you have a 1 rep max scheduled, all right, use a little bit of strategy, all right? Find out that number, reverse engineer your loads. Don't just start throwing weight on for no reason. Remember, the goal is to work up to just under that previous 1 rep max, be prepared for a heavy load, but not accumulate too much fatigue.